What's up, everybody? What's going on? So, in the last video, what I kind of talked about was the intro to Ableton, really understanding Ableton and, you know, trying to figure out what it's doing and how it's working and all that stuff. So, if you haven't seen that video, please be sure to go check it out. I think it would be super useful for you. But today, we're really going to be talking about the intro to tracking or recording yourself. So let's jump right into it. Okay. Um, First off is let's talk about our BPM. Okay. As a matter of fact, this is something I didn't mention in the last video, so I'll be sure to mention it here. We basically need to tell Ableton where to pick up our audio from, right? So what I mean by that, we're going to go to Live Preferences, and we're going to go to our audio. Now, input and output devices. So if you're using a Focusrite or a universal audio like myself, you would simply click it, find it, and yeah. For instance, I'm using this one, this black hole. It's basically for like streaming and stuff like that. But if you had a Focusrite or whatever, you would click it. Same thing there. The next thing is buffer size. Okay, so this is important. If you open up a project and it's new and it has no plugins, no effects, nothing like that, then you can probably get away with a lower buffer size. If you have a big project that's taking a lot of CPU, raise the sample rate, and that's going to help your computer work better with the project that you have open. But it also has a delay in the mic because it takes, it's working harder, so there's more of a delay. So basically what you want to do is, if you're recording yourself at home, try to use 64 or 128 samples, whichever one you can get away with. If it does like some skipping, go ahead and turn the sample rates up. Okay, so now that we've told Ableton where it is we wanted to get our audio from, now let's go ahead and get the beat and the beats per measure. Now, if you didn't see the last video, the website that we used was TuneBat, and with TuneBat we were able to find the key and the BPM of the song. So let's say I did that already, 102.com, 102 BPM. So now I'm gonna drag and drop the beat in there. Simply go to your downloads, whatever beat it was that you picked, and drag and drop it right into Ableton. Just simple, just drag and drop. Okay, now what we're gonna do is a couple of things. Now, first thing we need to do is make sure that it's on time. So we're going to double click the audio, turn our warping off, and then back on. We're going to go down to Complex Pro. Okay, now that we got our beat, we're going to go ahead and drag it all the way back and see if it's on with the metronome. Let's see. Okay, it is. Now, if it wasn't and you needed to make any adjustments, what you would do is go down here, take out any extra bit of audio that's there, but nothing's playing. Like here's extra, here's a little bit that was included in this file, but it's not needed. You see what I'm saying? So if I were to move it back like this, it would move everything off time. See? So let's hit Command Z. That's going to undo, put everything back on time. Now we're going to listen to it again and make sure that it's on. Okay, it is. Great. So now what we want to do is make sure that the beat is not coming in so loud. So sometimes what they'll do is already master the beat. Okay, so the beat will already be coming in really loud, but we don't want to have to turn our vocals up all the way loud. We don't want to have to be mixing the whole time trying to compete with the level of the beat. So what I like to do is just go ahead and turn the beat down. I'm going to go down 5 decibels. You can go about 4, 5, or 6. And the way that you can check the levels is by going back to your live station by clicking tab. And when you play the beat, you can see that. You can see how loud the beat is. So now we have plenty of headroom to start recording. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll already record with the loud beat going into it, making it sound right, but we're still learning here. So let's just stick with, keeping it easy and keeping it simple. Okay. Now what we're going to do is start organizing ourselves for the recording process. So what we're going to do is start with an audio track. We're going to rename it to record. Okay, and we're going to arm that one because that's where we're recording. Remember, you arm the track by clicking this red one so that when you hit record up here, it knows where the audio, which track to record on. Okay, then we're going to make 3 other tracks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Command D, which is going to duplicate. So I'm going to do 3 of them, right? I'm going to name one a main with all caps. So main. And then the other ones I'm going to do lowercase main. And I'll explain to you why in just a second. So now, let's say that, because essentially we're going to get more in depth with kind of engineering and the basics and stuff like that. So when you make an adjustment, you don't want to have to make it on both of these tracks. You want one track that you can make adjustments to, and it will change both of them. That's why we did that here. So now we got to send both of these little mains to the higher, to the big main. Basically, we're going to go down, and instead of it going to the master, it's going to go to the big main. Now we want all of the audio that's coming in on this big main to come in. We don't want it to be off. We want it to come in. Okay. Now, here are our mains, and let's say we're going to do some harmonies. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to insert a track. Okay, we're going to do a big harmony, where this is where we're going to send the harmonies. You right click, or you can command R. We're going to do capital harm, and then we're going to do lowercase harm, 2 of them. And we're going to send them both, instead of the master, to the big harmony, and we're going to make sure that all of the audio is coming in on the big harmony. So there, we have a little bit of a template of, you know, where we're recording and then where the tracks are going. Personally, what I like to do is put my recording in between these over here. And actually, let me make sure I turn the camera. Maybe I should move it over here for now. Okay, I'll move it here. So yeah, if you guys missed that, sorry about that. Yeah, I made these tracks basically, and I sent them to a big main, right? So I got these little tracks. Instead of sending them to the master, I sent them to the big main, and I turned the audio in. So there we go. I have all of my beat is timed, and I know where I'm going to record and where I'm going to send them. Now back to what I was saying. Personally, what I like to do is put my recording in between the 2 mains so that I can simply drag and drop them right on top. So I'll show you a little bit of what I mean. So I got the beat, everything's ready to go. I got the track armed. Last part I forgot to mention. Now, I have 2 inputs on my Apollo Twin. On a Focusrite, depending on which Focusrite it is, you might have 2, you might have 4. On my Tascam, I have 16. But I'm using my Apollo, so I only have 1 input and 2 inputs. You can see where the audio is coming from. It looks like 2. 2 is getting the most audio, you see? So that's how you tell Ableton which input to pick up from. So we clicked the right input. Now we're ready to record. So let's just try whatever here. You say that you want me, but you don't. No, 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 you don't. You say that you want love, it's not what you show. No, 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 not what you show. Okay, I freestyled it, kind of liked it. So now it's on my recording track, right? I'm gonna move it up. Gonna move it up to my main. Okay. So there's another thing I need to explain too. When I move an audio, there's gonna be a green little indicator that's gonna show up right around here. If you keep your eye right here, when I move this around, that's what happens. So that green indicator is showing me where it was originally. So if you go to move it up, you know, make sure it's on that, stays on that green line. That's where it originally was. Now I know that I'm getting a little bit of latency because of all of the applications I have open. So I'm going to go ahead and move it to where I think it, you know, I originally recorded it. But you shouldn't have this issue. And if you do, go back to your sample rate and buffer size and try to change that. Okay, so let's go to this. You say that you want me, but you don't. No, 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 you don't. You say that you want love, it's not what you show. Okay, sweet. So there it is. There's my main. Now let's say I have a word that's going to overlap onto the next one. How am I going to squeeze them both onto one track? We're not. That's why we made 2 mains, right? So no, 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 now what you show. So now you ask me, What is left from us and I don't know. So you see how it overlapped? Instead of putting it on the same one, I'm just going to drag and drop it on the bottom one. Just like that. So now you ask me, what is left from us and I don't know. Okay, not the greatest ever. Don't judge me, okay? I'm freestyling. But you understand what it is I'm trying to do here. So now if it's overlapping, I don't need to try to, break it up and stress my head and break my head about it. I just put it on a different track that's going to the right main. Okay? So yeah, now let's go to, let's say we were going to do harmonies. So let's do the same thing. Personally, what I like to do is move the recording track down closer to the harmonies. It just makes it easier for me. So now I'm going to record some harmonies. Let's try that. You say that you want me, but you don't. No. Try again. You say that you want me, but you don't. Okay, I got the harmony that I like. I'm going to drag and drop it onto the harmony. And the reason why we got two is in case anything overlaps, or let's say we want to add another harmony. Want me, but you don't. Okay, I'm so horrible. You want me, but you don't. Oh yeah, this needs to be moved over. That's why I'm tripping. Me, but you don't. Right? So if I wanted to add another harmony. You want me, but say that you want me, but you don't. Okay. I'm really actually trying to make this sound halfway decent for you guys. But okay, so now look, I was able to stack two harmonies on top of one. And if I wanted to make an adjustment, I didn't have to make it individually. Here's my big harm where I can do anything to them. So if they're too loud, or if I want to turn them up loud, I can right here without having to go here. Let's say I wanted to turn it up 6, and I got to change this one 6, and then I got to go through and change this one 6. No, it's all right here. If we wanted to mute them all, we can simply do that. We wanted to solo them all, we can do that. If we wanted to pan them all. So that's the beauty of having them being sent to one track. So, okay. And, same thing with ad-libs. If you wanted to do the same thing with ad-libs, you can essentially do the same thing. You do big ad-libs, right? And then you add another track. Whoops, that was a MIDI track. You add another track, name it the same thing. Little ad-libs, right? Make sure that you send the little ad-lib to the big ad-lib and turn the ad-lib in. And boom, now you're ready for some ad-libs. That you want me, but you don't. Oops, I never dragged this down to harp 2. So boom, there it is. Now I'm going to drag my record down to my ad-lib. Boom. You say that and then I can add some ad-libs. No, you. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry you guys have to go through this. But yeah, so now we have our mains. We have our harmonies, we have our ad-libs, boom. Let's say that we've created this whole song, right? And it sounds good for what it is. It's raw. Remember that there's no effects, there's nothing. It's just you, your vocal, and however good your mic is. So let's say you got it all, it's all organized, it looks great, you're happy with it, and you're ready to send it to an engineer. That is what we're going to talk about next. In the next video is how to export your stems, how to organize it, how to just get it ready for the engineer basically that you're sending it to, how to save and all that good stuff. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Real quick before we go, I do want to bring up one more thing. Let's show this, close this. So yeah guys, what's the idea of this? The idea is that you can record yourself at home in your own comfort as long as you want and not have to worry about studio time, paying for studio time and all of that. Whenever you're done, don't get so worried about what your song sounds like, okay? Here's a super fast solution. So this is my studio page. You can find stuff about me, my credits, my own personal stuff. But here, if you book a virtual session, now what you can do is send your stems through this website. Super user friendly. You can select deadlines, we can communicate, we can leave each other reviews, all that stuff. Super useful. Okay, you go here, it'll take you through how to send your stems and all that stuff, and you can send them to me or another engineer. Okay, and what that does is lets you keep creating, not break your head about how to make it sound like the radio and all that stuff. Don't worry about that. Just keep building, keep creating, and let the engineers handle the rest. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it was useful, and I hope that you found a way to track yourself easier. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.